Hit the subscribe button below to hear more stories like this. I made my mom apply for a job. Here's what happened. My mother is a lovely, lovely woman, but she doesn't quite grasp what the job market is like in 2023. She talks a lot about my dad's difficulties finding a good job in the 90s, which mostly comes down to which Fortune 50 company he'd accept an offer from after graduating from a top-tier business school. So to help her understand, I had her apply for a job online. She was a clinical psychologist back in the day but hasn't worked for a long time and never actually defended her doctorate dissertation for family reasons, so applying for any jobs with licensure requirements was out, as she'd have to provide a license number and stuff. So we got creative and decided to apply to 5 jobs that were looking for unlicensed counselors, ergo people in grad school, or various non-patient facing jobs that required graduate education in psych. In broad strokes, she has 5 years of experience, an undergraduate double degree from a top 50 school cum laude, and clinical training from a well-regarded program in a top 5 metro area. I spruced up her resume to reflect the modern market better, changed her dates of graduation and such, and let her rip. 2 hours later, she called. "How you get the dudes, Danny? I'm uploading my resume on Workday, but it's not populating correctly. The dates aren't filling in, and it keeps changing the line breaks at the bullet points." So I worked her through the vagaries of Workday, had my brother help her with an extension that retains your info in Workday from app to app, and went back to my day. An hour went by. What do you need to put in a cover letter these days? I rarely if ever apply for jobs with them, so I sent her some resources and moved on. I kind of forgot about the project until midweek when she called. I was rejected from 2 of the places because I didn't meet the qualifications for the position. That doesn't make sense. Of course, it didn't make sense. I crafted the resume so it would hit every check mark. But that's job hunting in 2023, baby. She asked if she could get feedback from the recruiter. I told her she could try, but they'd almost certainly refuse to respond, which is exactly what ended up happening. A few days later, my mom gets an email from a recruiter excitedly emailing some follow-up questions ranging from salary expectations to experience with different patient populations. This job asked a lot about her experience working with trans youth, which according to her was a complete unicorn case when she was practicing. With her input, we answered the questions and responded to the recruiter. A week went by and the recruiter responded with a salary range and some other follow-up questions. My mom called. "What on earth is this salary offer?" "This is what I got paid in the 90s. Of course, there are wildly differing salary expectations depending on the type of work, insurance reimbursement possibilities, etc., but that simple data point was a serious what the F moment for her. The other 2 jobs never even bothered responding. Her conclusion was, "This is a pain."
I would like to binge 3. No, 5 seasons of this show on my streaming service of choice.
I wish all parents and older people in general were required to get a taste of this.
After she was disappointed, did you also explain to her that A. She got an incredibly good ratio of responses per application? B. She did really well in getting the offer from 1 out of 5 applications?
My mom is retired and has been looking for something part-time lately to get out of the house and has encountered much of the same problems/frustrations. It's somewhat cathartic, TBH. My siblings and I have been expressing our own frustrations for some time, but my folks just did not have a realistic frame of reference for what job hunting is like these days. That's changed.
Back in 2016, I got laid off and was looking for a job. My dad was visiting. He came into my home office while I was applying online. Mind you, this was before Workday, where you had to create accounts and profiles on each company's system, then hand enter every job you've ever held, complete with addresses, manager names/titles, references, etc. It was the late afternoon and I was on my 3rd for the day. He got angry that was all I had done for the day. He thought I was lazy. So I had him sit there while I keyed everything in. After 10 minutes, he got frustrated with the system and went to take a nap. He never complained about how few jobs I was applying to ever again. He did try to complain at me for being lazy and applying online. UKAO, back in his day, he would go to the company and fill out an application. So I showed him the job ad I was responding to and asked him where should I go to fill out the application. The ad specifically didn't list an address or phone number and had a sentence that said online applications only would be accepted. He complained, but understood.
And the only reason she probably heard back at all was because of the relevant education and experience. Imagine the crickets if she was trying to get an entry-level job in a new field.
My mom is currently looking for jobs also. Similar situation. Top 50 college grad, Suma, held several six-figure jobs throughout the 90s until she quit to stay home with my little sister. And she's running into the same issues as your mom did. Unfortunately, mine still cannot get it through her head that times have wildly changed. She's been out of the workforce for 25 plus years and thinks she should be getting $80, $90K plus job offers right off the bat. She's an insanely intelligent woman who has tons to offer a workplace in terms of skills and experience, even after all this time. But she just can't seem to understand that this job market is truly a crapshoot, and you're lucky to land a living wage gig without needing some kind of connections to get it. My husband has 3 masters in different technical fields and was working a manual labor oil field gig his friend got him earlier this year before he was randomly let go, and then desperately searched for another job for months until finally landing a decent paying position at a solid government contractor thanks to a friend he made in a hobby club 12 years ago. I was working for a friend's small business for a little while until February this year when I was let go and have been searching for anything that pays even slightly more than the gas it takes to get there, armed with only my measly BFA. Even my old retail job where I crushed rejected me. The only offer I've received since February has been a $9/HR part-time position at a craft/hobby store. I would have taken it, but it literally wouldn't cover gas costs. It is bleak as hell out here.